joy, and no one can take it away.
He's why we share our story. Jesus, the King of glory. Presence is all around us. He keeps me safe and sound. He's why we share our story. Jesus, the King of glory. Presence is all around us. He keeps me safe and sound. Lord, show me the way through the jungle. I look to God, lead me down the right path. He picks me up if I slip or if I stumble. Said, my child, don't worry, I got your back. He said his only son is a gift to us. Then the gift taught us how to give, showed us how to live. It's wild we can kick it with God, my best friend from the start to the end. Wow, I think it's wild all the time that he spent with me. Now I can spend the same time with you. I sure can. We can make it through the wild, hand in hand. Need a friend, well I got a few. Come on. Greater is he that lives in me. Root of all good, won't ever leave. Help me out the maze, need you every single day. Right now, lead me to the truth. He's why we share our story. Jesus, the King of glory. Presence is all around us. He keeps me safe and sound. He's why we share our story. Jesus, the King of glory. Presence is all around us. He keeps me safe and sound. Alright, we gon' see how good y'all are and following directions. I need y'all to repeat after me. Love the Lord your God with all your heart. Love the Lord your God with all your soul. Love the Lord your God with all your mind. Love the Lord your God with all your strength. Come on, come on. It's the wild life. It's the wild life. It's the wild life. It's the wild life. He's why we share our story. Jesus, the King of glory. Presence is all around us. He keeps me safe and sound. He's why we share our story. Jesus, the King of glory. Presence is all around us. He keeps me safe and sound.
God created me just the way that I am. The way that I am. Oh, no, no. And I can't follow Jesus with all that I am. I can use my gifts and share my story. Spending time with others shows I care. I can grow my faith and understanding. When I talk to God, He hears my prayer. I know there's more to me than meets the eye. And I may not be perfect, that's alright. I know that God loves me, that is not a mystery. 'Cause we're now starting to do great things. Everybody, we are on the case. Let's chase the clues and solve the mystery. Everybody, we are on the case. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.
Yo, Mars, let's get it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. God in my heart, got my hands up to heaven. Been set apart, got joy in my lungs. Smile so wide, now it's time for some fun. Clap 3 times. Now snap, now snap. Take 2 steps up to the front. Take 2 steps to the back. Clap 3 times. Now snap, now snap. Take 2 steps up to the front. Take 2 steps to the back. Dance like David, ain't afraid of Goliath. Fast like Daniel, don't play with the lions. Dress real clean, cool coat like Joseph. Slave of the land, set him free like Moses. Like Moses, I'm chosen. Yeah, I once was afraid, heartbroken. I was crashing like a wave in the ocean, till I was saved by the word that was spoken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. God in my heart, got my hands up to heaven. Been set apart, got joy in my lungs. Smile so wide, now it's time for some fun. Clap 3 times. Now snap, now snap. Take 2 steps up to the front. Take 2 steps to the back. Clap 3 times. Now snap, now snap. Take 2 steps up to the front. Take 2 steps to the back. My amigo, that's my hero. Paid it on the cross, no free throw. Going so 100, no 0. Feeling so alive, hands up, wave 'em high. Clap, clap, clap 3 times. Take 2 steps up, then slide to the right. If you need a friend, you got one in Christ. Take 2 steps back, then jump real high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. God in my heart, got my hands up to heaven. Been set apart, got joy in my lungs. Smile so wide, now it's time for some fun. Clap 3 times. Now snap, now snap. Take 2 steps up to the front. Take 2 steps to the back. Clap 3 times. Now snap, now snap. Take 2 steps up to the front. Take 2 steps to the back. If you need a friend, you got one in Christ. Skirt.
Skirt! What is up? What's up, everybody? Welcome in. So yesterday we did a live stream as well, and the microphone or whatever, we didn't have a microphone, and the audio was a little clicky when I was listening. So I just plugged in a mic. Let us know if it's like too loud or something. I didn't really test it. I just plugged it in. So what is up?
A typical church tech guy right
Youth
now.
ministry people
Hi.
of the world, welcome
friends.
to the live stream. The build a complete 1 year. Let's just show it. Here it is.
Okay,
This is
show it.
this is it. The build a
There
complete
it is.
1 year plan for your youth ministry.
Mhm.
We are glad.
I'm glad that
you guys are.
I'm glad that
here
you
today.
showed it because I made that and it took way too long.
That's right.
So I need to like get some use out of it.
Whenever we need a graphic made, and we don't want to have to go through a long process, we're just like,
More like when we need a last minute graphic made.
Yeah, exactly.
Or after hours that I'm like at 11
The
p.m.
after hour
The-
designer.
I'm the overtime designer only.
Love it.
Okay, anyway.
Well,
hi.
So glad you guys are joining us today. We are excited because not only are we going to walk you through how to plan an entire year of ministry for your youth ministry, we are going to reveal a brand new tool that we just released yesterday. So maybe you've already heard about it. Maybe if you've been on the Grow website, you've seen it. But a lot of our users so far have been extremely excited and have been giving us feedback and ideas and ways that they're planning on using it. So we are excited. Actually, let me just show you. I'm just going to show it real quick.
Kenny, the
I'm gonna tease
spoiler.
it, a little tease. This is the brand new planning tool, aka Planning View, on the Grow website, where you can plan out an entire year. Everything. Let me just go over here. Everything is drag and droppable. You can just pick up one of these things, put them somewhere else.
We love a drag and drop.
You can
And a
check
color
out
code.
what's happening in your series behind the scenes. See it's about from the New Testament on worship. We've got the 4 weeks here with
love that
the
graphic.
Bible and the big idea. I know. I like that
graphic
graphic
just
too.
yummy. I just love to look at
I
it.
like it. I like it. So anyway, we're gonna
I
show
did make
you.
that one.
We're gonna show you more about that in a minute. But first, we just want to say hi. Thank you guys. If you don't know, Grow started as a youth ministry product. Like, we were youth pastors ourselves up in Buffalo, New York, and then we started creating resources for youth ministry. And we're excited that today is Youth Ministry Day, that we get to talk to youth pastors and directors and leaders from all around the country, the world. So
The
thanks for
universe.
being here. Whether you're with us live or watching this afterwards on the replay, thank you for hanging out this afternoon.
So let's tell the people like what we're doing here. So I saw some of you in the chat already are like, I'm excited to learn about Grow. Others of you are already Grow users. You're like, I don't need to learn about Grow. I just need to learn about this new thing that you made me. So whether you know all about Grow curriculum or whether you don't care about Grow curriculum at all, that is all fine. All are welcome here, because what we're going to do, we're going to show you this tool that Kenny already, spoilered and showed you a little bit of it, which is a tool you can use no matter what curriculum you use. If you do use Grow curriculum, which is the curriculum that we make, you will find it extra fancy because it's really integrated into Grow curriculum. So it's like super, super easy to use. But either way, whether you use Grow or you don't, we are also going to do double duty today by teaching you the Grow strategy. And we always say, we don't care what curriculum you use. You can use the Grow strategy no matter if you're writing your own sermons, if you're getting sermons from somewhere else, we don't care. You can still use the Grow strategy. It is a strategy for planning your ministry year and specifically building it on the foundation of discipleship. So that is what we're going to walk through today. We're going to show you the strategy and this fancy little tool to help make that strategy easier to implement.
Nice. I'm getting conflicting reports. I see here, I'm going to throw this up on the screen. Look at audio is good call using a mic, but then I just got a text message that it's still clicky and trying to equalize, it sounds like. So I don't know. We could always unplug the mic and just go with the MacBook mic if we have to, if it's good or bad. I'm not sure, but we will continue on. All right, let's just jump right in. Let's not waste your time today. Yeah. We know your guys' time is valuable, so let's get to it. Here it is, the presentation.
Here it is, the picture again.
The slideshow. Let's go to slide number 2. Okay, we'll give you a little context.
In case you don't know who we are. That's Kenny. I'm Elle.
And we are from Buffalo, New York. And we were youth pastors up there working at a church called The Chapel for almost 10 years. I was the middle school pastor. Elle was bouncing around. She was in family ministry for a while, coordinating.
I was 20 years old planning the marriage events.
Yeah, exactly.
A choice.
But you were married.
Yeah, for like 12
married
years.
At 19. Married at 19.
A child bride.
We are about to celebrate 20 years of marriage this
year.
Year.
We're so old.
20 years.
Yeah, we're married. We're not siblings.
Yep, exactly. Okay. Got point number 1 on the slideshow. We're married, not siblings. All right.
Okay.
And so we were doing that for a while. Absolutely loved it. That was like some of the most fun memories of my life, was being a youth pastor and hanging out with kids and like just doing fun stuff and getting to mentor them and help parents and volunteers and all that too. So we did that, and then we moved down to Atlanta for a little bit, worked with a nonprofit there that also resourced churches. And in 2017, Elle and I both quit our jobs on the same day and jumped into stuff you can use full time. And we launched Grow curriculum in 2017. So that's a little history. And we're going to show you kind of what we were thinking as we were launching Grow. And here's a lot of the people that contribute.
That's our team.
Over hundreds, literally hundreds of people touch Grow curriculum as it goes through the process, every volume that we create, whether they're people that are helping us brainstorm ideas, people who are editing or contributing in some ways, or writing,
starring in our videos,
reviewing, graphic designers, people helping us build different apps and stuff. We've made like cool tech apps over the years for different discipleship activities, like the habits tracker and things. There's so much that goes into Grow. Plus we have like project managers and just a lot of amazing people out there. And here's some of them that you can see on the team right here, plus plenty of other church leaders. And we like to work specifically with people who are working at churches currently. We try to get as diverse of a group as people as possible. And we're talking about like people that work at big churches, people that work at small churches, people who have big budgets, small budgets, people who work in cities or maybe more rural in the suburbs or different countries with different languages. So we try to make Grow curriculum as usable as possible, and like dozens and dozens of different denominations, like people across the span of denominations help edit and create Grow, so that at the end of the day, the product that we're delivering to you guys is completely usable right out of the box. Hopefully it won't be offensive
There's
to
not literally
any
a
of your
box.
denominations. Yeah, there's
There's
not literally a
often a
box.
question, do I get a box of curriculum? Sorry, I'm gonna open my
Mostly, yeah, go
Spindrift.
for it. Wow, some
There you
ASMR
go.
on the stream today. I love it. Yeah, specifically sometimes in kids ministry more than youth ministry, they're expecting a box
Yeah,
to
box.
show up.
There's no box.
Yeah, so we do
So
have
sorry.
customer service people, Kristen and Amy and the people out there. Thank you
you.
for helping the leaders through the fact that we don't deliver a
Amen.
box. But anyway, these are the people that help make it happen, and we absolutely love working with all of them. It's such a joy, honestly, to
is.
make stuff. And we've been there before, guys. Like we were saying, we know what it's like to be a youth pastor, someone leading a youth ministry, someone in charge of kids, someone in charge of volunteers. We know what the pressure is like when attendance is going
That's
down.
the worst.
Yo, you're going into those Monday staff meetings and you're like, shoot, we only had 3 kids show up over the
Oops.
weekend or whatever. Like, we know what that feels
And it's because like that one homeschooling family with 18 kids is out of town. And you're
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh,
You're like,
can you
oh
not?
no,
Can
bro.
you just
If
stay?"
there's like a homeschool convention, the attendance drops that weekend.
That's so
Students,
sad.
we know what the pressure is like when it feels like students aren't growing spiritually, right? It's like you do this week in and week out, and the kids that you're trying to mentor are still making the same mistakes, are still, you're like, what the heck? Is any of this even connecting
Yeah.
with these kids? It feels like they're not listening or they don't care. We know what that feels like. We know what it feels like when volunteers are not reliable. Specifically,
Especially
I
Kenny.
know what that's like because before Elle joined me in middle school ministry, I was just like the lone guy running our ministry, and I was bad with mentoring volunteers and developing
We
volunteers.
can't be good at everything.
And yeah, they were inconsistent. They were doing a bad job, and it was a reflection of my leadership, honestly. Like they didn't care and they didn't show up because I didn't put the effort in to help train them and get them prepared for and like show them the importance and the urgency of being a small group leader and being a volunteer in ministry. And sometimes it feels like parents aren't engaged with your ministry or they're actively against you. We've literally been, maybe, I don't know if I've ever had maybe like one parent who like was actively against me, who thought we weren't
that you were destroying the church or
exactly
something.
like we
I don't
one
think we
time
were.
one time we made a shirt that had like a chain on it, and it had our logo, like our ministry logo, like a fake chain, and
Like a big
parent
necklace. It was literally
called
like a
it-
women's necklace.
yeah, it was like a big chain. It was cool. We got it made by this company with like glitter paint and stuff. It was actually a little shimmery. It was fun. And one of the parents, when they saw us like having it in our little
like that.
merch
She said it
station or
was
whatever,
worldly.
yeah, too worldly. The merch you're selling is too worldly.
Yeah, that was
We were
sad.
like, okay, so
I think it was also because it was a V-neck. She didn't like that it was a V-neck.
Yo,
Crew
those
necks and
those
turtlenecks
worldly
only.
V-necks, those worldly V-necks. And so we're gonna tell you a little bit about the story of how we launched Grow. If you've never heard us talk about this before, like we said, in 2017, we quit our jobs and we were like, okay, we're gonna create something now for church leaders. So we should do some research and figure out what they want. So go ahead. You can say it.
Yeah. So, we already had like an idea of what we wish we had when we were youth leaders. And that's honestly how we make most things around here at Stuff You Can Use, where it's like, hey, I wish I had this thing. Or we hear one of you say like, hey, I wish I had this thing. And then we say, let's see if we can make it. So for us, some of like the things that were frustrating to us when we were youth leaders is like, we couldn't, like there's a million places to get curriculum, but there was not a lot of places to get things to like teach you how to do volunteer like leadership or like really do family ministry in a practical way. So we were kind of like piecemealing stuff from all of these places all the time. And we're like, man, what if we just put everything together in one spot for like your whole ministry to help people? But we're like, before we do anything crazy, let's just ask the people, like, what actually are you struggling with in ministry? And so we sent out this email. We got hundreds and hundreds of emails back. And what was funny is it wasn't like a drop down, like it wasn't like a multiple choice. What's your biggest struggle? It was like just an email. And so many of you poured your little hearts out to us. So we had essays to read, which was amazing. We loved it. And it was also like, oh my gosh, like people are actually like struggling. Like ministry is hard, which we all know. But just to see so many responses all at once, I was like, oh wow, this is a lot. And some of the recurring themes that we were seeing from folks were like, man, I am just feeling so pressured, either by my boss or like our elder board or just like the parents in our church, to grow my ministry. Like I have to get attendance numbers up, and it's really, really stressful. And that makes sense because it's not really something you can control. And I'm sure we've all seen like those youth groups who like try to give away Xboxes and stuff to get their attendance numbers up. And those quick fixes can sometimes work in the short term. But the thing that we were just talking about, like what we would want to say to all of these youth leaders who are feeling this way is like, quick fixes are not going to really solve the problem. They can get people in the door, but if you don't have a healthy ministry that is like truly built on this foundation of discipleship, then they're just going to wander out the door eventually. So like, what does it look like to build a ministry that is healthy and growing and like has a holistic strategy across every facet of the ministry? And that's what we wanted to make with Grow.
Yeah, so we asked you guys what your biggest struggle was. We got a bunch of responses: spiritual growth, numerical growth, volunteers, parents, and we're like, okay, cool. Let's put it all into one cohesive strategy and call this Grow curriculum. So if you're a Grow user, you know we split everything up into these color-coded. Here, I'm going to go back to this real quick. This is what the Grow strategy looks like. You'll see I've already moved some things around here, but the orange ones are discipleship. Then underneath that, these are usually red where you see all the series graphics. Those are our teaching series. Then below that, we have the yellow cards, which are environments, like the environments you're creating for your students. The green cards are events. The blue cards are your volunteer development strategy. And the pink cards are parents and families. And so we kind of organized the entire year onto this big board, and we thought, let's share this with the people. This is a cool and fun way to organize things, and let's turn this into kind of one of the things that we provide church leaders inside of Grow, and that is known now as like the Grow strategy board, and that has inspired the tool that we have created for you. So here's the plan that we're going to do today. Number one, we're going to talk about strategy. We're going to talk about your strategy. Do you have a strategy? Is it a good strategy? We're going to get a first look at the planning tool, which I already teased it a little bit. But we're going to show you how it works and show you how you can use it to plan your year. And number three, we're going to steal the Grow strategy.
Well,
you
we're
can.
not going to steal
Yeah,
it.
we already
We
wrote
already
it,
have it.
but you can steal it to help your students grow spiritually, to help grow your volunteer team, to help grow your parent engagement. And the cool thing about the Grow strategy, and we're going to talk about this, is it's completely customizable. You can take it as it is completely and use it, and it's ready to go out of the figurative box. Or you can mix and match, take things out, just take one thing. Maybe you only need help with families and parents, and you're like, okay, I'm going to take the parent strategy and use that in my ministry. It's totally up to you how you use it, if you want to use it at all. But at least we're hoping today that we help inspire you to plan out your year, to think about your strategy.
And give you a structure to do it. So, but let's start by talking about what we even mean when we're talking about strategy, because this is really important. The question, do you have a strategy? Like, do you actually? And is your strategy actually working? So in ministry, I'm sure you guys hear the word strategy quite a bit. Like it's kind of a common buzzword. People like to call lots of things strategies when they maybe are not quite strategies. Next slide, please.
Next
Tech
slide.
guy.
And as we're changing slides, I see some questions in the chat. Let me just show you guys really quick as we go through here. But if you want to find this, it's live on the website right now if you want to mess around. When you go to the growcurriculum.org website, you'll see down here Marketplace, Library, and Planning View. Go ahead and click Planning View, and that will give you access to the board. What you're going to see is an entitled, like a brand new board like this, but you can preload other stuff, and we're going to show you how it works. But I just saw somebody asking, so I wanted to make sure you guys knew where to find it. So you can, as we're talking about this, you can kind of play around with the board and build out a strategy in a year as we're talking. But sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. All right. So when we're talking about strategy, here's what we are not talking about. A strategy is not the same thing as a goal or a dream or a vision or even like a philosophy of how to do ministry. Sometimes these terms get like all mixed up, but you need all of these things, but they are not actually strategies. if you are going to talk about what a strategy actually is, here is the best way that we like have been able to think about this and that we would want to pass on to you. Your goals, your dreams, your vision, your philosophies, all of those things can tell you where you want to go in your ministry, but your strategy is the thing that tells you how to get there. So I know for us as ministry leaders, we would often go to like ministry conferences or read ministry books, and there'd be so many good ideas in there, but so often you kind of walk away thinking, okay, but like now what do I do? Like, and how do I actually implement these ideas? So your strategy is the thing that takes those goals and dreams and visions and philosophies and actually tells you how to get all of it done. So when we are talking about the growth strategy, you can see here, these are just like some examples. These are analog versions of the board we just looked at of folks who have taken the growth strategy and like totally made it their own. So each of these cards, think of this as like each card is an answer to the question, how will I do this? How will I help kids grow spiritually? How will I grow my volunteer team? How will I increase parent engagement? Every single one of these cards is an action step. And you can see all of these boards look a little bit different. And that's because folks customize it. They will rearrange things. They'll like put different priorities in different places. Some people, especially that board up on like the top right, they made up their own color code. They're like, there's not enough options here. I need additional things. So people have created, extra colors to help expand this strategy. So it's totally customizable, but think about this as like the foundation for what you're trying to do.
And we absolutely love when you guys share the pictures of the boards that you make too. If you've been a Grow user for a while, you know that we even have like physical cards that you can order off of Amazon right now. So you can go on Amazon, find the Grow cards, and build your own physical board if you want to. And literally, we have always just created our own little thumbtack board. It's 4 feet by 4 feet. You can go to like Home Depot, buy a piece of
yeah, it's like
styrofoam
insulation. It's
and
like insulation board.
right? Wrap it with some fabric, and you have yourself a little board, and it's amazing. We use these for like planning,
brainstorming.
yeah, a bunch of stuff. So this is what inspired the digital version. People have been using this for a while, but people love a good digital tool.
I know.
So we wanted
You
to make
can't
sure
carry your giant board around with you all the
that
time.
we had something to help bring back this way to organize your year right on the Grow website. So we're excited to get that in your hands, because it can be frustrating just to have a bunch of resources, have a bunch of series, and you're like, this seems all like confusing to me, and like it's overwhelming.
How do I organize it?
Way easier to feel good about what you're doing once you can put it onto a board and see the entire year at once. So back to strategy, we just talked about, it's really great when your strategy is customizable, because you have to adapt. One year you might do one thing, or maybe you change churches and you're in a new context and you have to adapt the strategies you're familiar with. And so that's how we made Grow. Very adaptable, very customizable, so that it can work however you want to use it. So here's the deal. Your strategy is the plan that gets you to your goal. And the goal is to grow. And when we talk about growth, we're not talking just about attendance, right? Like, obviously, you might be feeling some pressure from your pastor. I don't even know if you told this story. We told it yesterday. One of the responses in the emails that we got back, there was a youth pastor who basically said, yeah, my lead pastor told me that if I don't double the size of my youth group by the end of the summer, I'm going to be fired. And we're like, yo, that's crazy
bad
pressure.
deal.
And it's not. And so like, he's trying to come up with ideas that were like quick fixes, like I was saying earlier. But what we want to help you today do is to create a strategy that will help your ministry be healthy, and it'll help it have organic growth, because you're going to set yourself up for a healthy ministry that is sustainable. And hopefully you'll be able to see teenagers grow spiritually. You'll see parents grow more engaged with your ministry, and you'll see volunteers grow more invested. And I started talking about when Elle came on to the middle school team, when I was the middle school pastor. When she got there, we weren't seeing specifically the things about parents and volunteers. Teenagers maybe were growing spiritually, because that's where I was investing my time, was on like the teenager side, but they didn't have a good volunteer structure to support the spiritual growth. We didn't have good, consistent small group leaders. I wasn't a parent. I was only like 21 years old or whatever, right? So like I didn't know how to connect with parents really well. I didn't know how to train other adult volunteers. And so that was an area where I would have very much benefited from having something like the Grow strategy hanging on my wall on like a big board. So what is the strategy? Elle, tell us really quickly again what this is all about.
Yeah, so if you are around Grow at all, you'll see these icons a ton. If you don't use Grow, that's fine. We'll just give you this color code that you can use on your own. So red is for teaching. Of course, you need a solid teaching strategy. Orange is for discipleship, and we'll talk about these 4 spiritual habits that make up our discipleship strategy. Yellow is for your weekly environments. You need a strategy around that. Green is for your events. Blue is for your volunteers, pink is for parents and families, and then there's also your planning strategy, which is gray. So we're going to just go through each of these colors. So let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So here's the deal. We're going to start with discipleship. And if we go back to the board here, let me just explain what's going on. So you'll see with an untitled board, this will be what you see when you first go to planning view. And if people are still looking, let me like when you go to the Grow website, just look for this toggle over here, marketplace, library, and planning view. And this is the planning view toggle tab. So
And you do need an account, which is free. You can set up a free account.
you don't even need
Oh,
an
you
account.
don't even need
You
an
don't
account.
even
I
need an account.
lied.
I'm pretty sure you don't even have to be logged in to use this. You might need to be logged in to like save your boards.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you do need to be logged in, but I think you
Find
might be
out.
able to get to the planning view even
This
without
is
being
like day
logged in.
2 of this thing
That's
being
right.
live.
This literally just launched yesterday. So for real, if you're using it and you find any bugs,
We wanna
or
know. Tell
you
us.
have any feature requests, let us know. But okay, back to strategy. We like to put discipleship on the very top, and let's just load up a board here. So oh yeah, I already have the students one. So you'll see on my board, and I'll just say this really quick, there's bright cards and then there's dim cards. And the bright cards are the ones that I already own. I already have them in my library. So if you're actually like a Grow user, maybe you're familiar with the marketplace, this is where you find all of the resources that are available from Grow. And then your library is where the resources you already purchased live. And then on the planning view, you can pull in resources that you've purchased or resources that you don't own and put them on the board. And the ones that are bright are the ones that you own. And the ones that are dim are the ones that you don't own.
Or you can make up your own
That's right.
resources.
Or you can do custom cards, and you can click on a little card down here and it'll show you, do you want to do a custom card? And if you do, you can basically start from scratch, upload your own image if you want to, pick your own color background and all that stuff, and create your own card. But if you want to load one of the Grow ones or build a Grow one, and that's the other thing, let's say you wanted to build a board from scratch, you can pick Grow card. Then you can come here and you can look at all of the resources that we have available, either ones that you already own that are in your library, and you can be like, okay, cool, I'm going to add this resource. It'll let you choose which card you want to start with. Let's just start with the cool graphic one, and then boom, it's on your board, and then you can just drag it and put it wherever you want. And so that's what it looks like on here. So we start with discipleship. So back to discipleship, right? Because this is the lens through which we see our entire ministry. We want to start with discipleship. And so let's go back here for a second.
So when we talk about discipleship, here's what we're talking about. We are doing all of this based on this idea that discipleship is, first of all, a lifelong process. It is not something that you can like achieve in a 12-week discipleship class. It is ongoing forever. It's best done in community. So in the Grow strategy, like we really emphasize the idea of small groups if your church is large enough to do small groups, or if it's not, that's also okay. The whole point though is just healthy community. Like teenagers need to be surrounded with a community of peers and trusted adults who can help them process and form their faith. We believe just discipleship is less about just gaining knowledge about Jesus, although, you know, that's obviously important and we need to help students do that, but it's more about following Jesus with our whole lives. So head knowledge is not equal discipleship. We need to actually help students like live this out in their lives. And so the way that we do this, and this is the foundation again of everything we do in the Grow strategy, are these 4 spiritual habits. And sometimes when you think about discipleship, you think about outcomes. Like you think, oh, well, I know I'm growing when I'm doing these things. But at the same time, you can think of them as habits. Like if you want to get closer to God, then start spending time with God. Then start spending time with others in healthy Christ-like community. Then use your gifts to serve. Share your story of faith. So these 4 things, when practiced regularly, are the things that are going to help you grow. And if you are familiar with the growth strategy, you know that these 4 spiritual habits are the same ones we use for all ages, because if you think about it, these things apply to every age, whether you are like a little kid or a grown up. So, what's cool about these spiritual habits is that if you can instill them into a kid or a teenager, they will be with them forever. And if they're thinking about their faith through this framework, and even when they're beyond pastor ministry, if they're like, oh, I feel like my faith is like a little bit stagnant, they'll have these 4 things in mind that they can turn to be like, oh, maybe I'm a little weak in this area. Maybe I could like, do something to help myself grow in this area, just like my youth pastor taught me.
So let's look at what this looks like on the actual Grow
Mhm.
strategy board. So when you're in the planning view, you'll see if you load up, like let's say volume 9 of students, and that's the thing too, when you are preloading a volume, right now we have just 1 year of students. We're going to keep adding more and more years. So
Mhm.
you'll have plenty of different options to choose from. So right now, volume 9 is the most recent volume that we released through Grow. And you'll see in the fall, we do spend time with others because
Mhm.
that's kind of like when they're going back to school, they're meeting new friends. And so the
Mhm.
spiritual habit of spending time with others makes a lot of sense in the fall.
Yeah.
That's why we
You
put it
need
there.
that foundation of relationships to carry you through the school year.
And then in the winter, we talk about using your gifts. There's
Mhm.
lots of times different service projects happening around Christmas and the holidays. And so this is a great time to talk about using your gifts. Then in the spring, we talk about spending time with God, and
It's
that's
like
the
Easter
spiritual habit we
time.
focus
You've
on.
got Lent and you've had like, 6 months to really build trust with students. So it's a good time to like challenge them to go a little bit deeper.
And then in the summer, we focus on the spiritual habit of sharing your story because there's things like missions trips
Mhm.
and different like evangelistic opportunities in the community and stuff
Getting them
over the
ready for a
summer.
new school
Yeah,
year.
exactly. And so that's like if you preload a year of Grow, just know that everything is thoughtful. We think through
Mhm.
the year, we put things on the calendar in specific places and different times because it makes the most sense during those times. So
Mhm.
you are absolutely can build this from scratch, but you can take inspiration from like why we put things at different
Mhm.
parts of the year. And like same thing goes, we'll talk about different events that we do and different ways that we train volunteers or events that we do for them or parents. And then one thing I'll mention too on this board here, you can zoom out if you would rather see the entire year at once.
Look
Just
at
keep
that.
zooming out until you see everything and you'll be able to view it like that. Or
Mhm.
if you want to get in and have a more up close view of what's going on, you can zoom in as much as
Mhm.
you like as well. So that's what it looks like for our discipleship strategy on the big board.
Yeah.
And next up, we're talking teaching strategy. Elle, tell us about the teaching strategy.
Okay, well, I think you guys probably know already that you need some kind of teaching strategy. You can't just like show up on a weekly basis and be like, I don't know, I'll just randomly open the Bible. But having a thought through teaching strategy is the thing that helps you decide which topics to teach, when to teach each topics, because like Kenny just said, there's certain times of year where certain topics might be more useful than others. Like the beginning of the school year when students are like making new friends, starting new classes, maybe that's a good time to talk about friendship, or like, hey, you're getting ready for a missions trip, maybe that's a good time to teach about evangelism in your ministry. So thinking through how all of these things line up with everything else that's on your calendar. And by the way, that's why we do this big picture planning board view, because we want you to see how all of the different pieces of your ministry all line up so that you can see how they can work together a little bit more effectively and strategically. Um, and a good teaching strategy is also going to tell you how often to teach each topic and how to do it in an engaging and effective way. Another thing that your teaching strategy should do, in our opinion, is to always, like every time you do a lesson, to answer these 3 questions. What are we talking about? So, like when a teenager leaves your ministry, they should not be like, what did I just hear my youth pastor ramble about for 45 minutes? They should be able to be like, oh no, clearly I know exactly what we were just talking about. So what, which is why does this matter to us? Why should it matter to a teenager? And why does it matter to God? And then also now what, which is what should we do about the thing that we just heard? And if you're familiar with Grow, you know that these three questions are actually like how we structure every single talk. So to make sure that all three of these questions actually get answered in an effective way. And the now what is so important. Again, remember what we said about the discipleship strategy. It's not just about knowledge, it is about living that knowledge out. And that's how faith formation really happens. So that now what section of every talk is so important. And when we're talking about how to teach effectively, it's also really important to think about having varied ways to teach your students. If you are in the habit of just standing up there at the front of the room and kind of doing lecture style sermon, maybe rethink that strategy in 2026, because there are so many amazing, interesting ways to teach a teenager that will help your message stick better in their brains. And we know it's easy to kind of like get a little bit in a funk of using the same like patterns and formulas when you're doing your lessons in your sermons. So what we did is we kind of created this color coded situation of all of these different ways. There's looks like 12. No, yes, 12.
We love a good color
I
code.
do. It's really a problem for me, but I do love it. So these 12 methods are different things that you can like kind of switch in and out of your teaching to just like make your teaching more interesting and engaging. And when you look at a lesson from Grow, if you're using it, you'll see that every lesson is color coded according to this color code, because we want to reinforce in your brain like every week your sermon should physically look different to you when you're planning it. Like if it's always looking like the same color coded formula over and over again, your teenagers are probably getting bored, and there's probably something you can do to like mix things up to make your lesson stick better for everybody.
Yes. And so if you are a Grow user, you're probably familiar with all of these. And if you're not a Grow user, check out one of the free series that are available from Grow, and you'll see every single lesson broken up this way with stories and times of discussions and activities and object lessons and times of reflection and music and all sorts of different ways that you can teach. And so let's take a look at this on the board. And so Keegan was asking in the comments who's team colors and who's team graphics or whatever. So
I like a combo, I think.
yeah. So what I decided to do, and you can change this for all of them, but I decided by default, we'll make all of the series with the series graphics just because they look so good.
They
Like
do
we
look
like
good.
spend so much time with designers figuring out to craft like what each series theme looks like.
I'm pretty
So
partial to stick together.
I thought, let's just do it that way. But we also can do it for any of the cards. Now, let me see. I know this is brand new, so hopefully this is
Let's see
working.
if it works.
Okay, so it's actually what I want to do is by default have it here. Oh yeah, use prog image. I want to see it. So you will actually see the image in the future. So, but here you can get
do
to
the
it.
image.
Yeah. So Jay or Samia, if you're watching,
Look how cute they look together because
two
they
of our
match.
editors, two of our web people. Let's make it so that when you go to edit card, that you actually see this as an option. So you can upload image here, or you can choose the series graphic image there. But cool, so that's what that looks like. And so every single series is on here, and if you want to see the details of it, there's these three dots. Sometimes you can't really see them in the corners here, but there's little three dots. No. You just have to know it's there.
It's just there.
Like
Just
if it's a light
like if the
screen,
graphic is
yeah,
busy or
right.
something. Yeah,
If the graphic's too busy. But once you know it's there, it's there. It's actually better if it's hidden,
Yeah.
but you can go to card details, and this will tell you the information about the series. So this is a 4-week series from Jeremiah. Ampersand, we'll get that fixed. We're on day 2. Lamentations on hurt. Ampersand pain.
Wow.
And so you can see week 1, we've got the big idea, we've got the Bible references. And so as you go through your teaching series, you get a quick view of all of that. And let's say you don't own it. So for instance, I don't have this one after you. I can go to the product page. And what's going to happen is it's going to show me all of the details of this specific series. So you'll get a little quick peek at, is this the 1-minute sermon?
Bumper video, I think. Or no, it is a 1-minute sermon.
Yeah, this is the 1-minute sermon. So you can actually listen to the 1-minute sermon here that we provide in every series. You can see little previews of what the PDFs look like and stuff. And as you go down here, you'll see a description of everything. You'll see the discipleship activity that connects to it. You'll get a more kind of like a larger look at what's in the series,
Mm-hmm.
what's included, and then you can purchase it if you want to. And the other cool thing, we didn't mention this yet, but as you're building out your year, if you wanted to just build it out and then eventually purchase the things that you don't have, you can just go right here, click add to cart, and every single thing that you don't own yet will be here. So you can select all and put them in your cart and just check out. And then all of a sudden now all of them will be bright and be lit up on your screen because you own them. Or you can just pick and choose the ones that you want and add them to cart and then check out. So we try to make it as easy. You can plan your entire year and then get all of the resources that you need to actually execute it. But so that's what the teaching series looks like. So discipleship at the very top, and then the next level underneath that is teaching, and then the next level underneath that is environments. And so let's take a quick look at our environment strategy.
Let's do it. So when we're talking about environments, we're talking about your weekly physical environment. Having a strategy around this and not just treating it like an afterthought is something that is going to really make sure that every teenager feels welcome in your space, that everyone is able to have fun, that everyone is physically safe, because all of that kind of foundation of physical safety really allows everyone to have an emotionally safe place where they can share and open up and then ultimately grow. And so tangibly what we're talking about when we talk about an environment strategy is a strategy that takes into account these little details, things like your room design and your decor, the fun and the games that you play, the music you play, the food you serve, and basically anything that helps a young person feel welcome and safe and loved. And
The good stuff.
yeah, the good stuff. The good stuff.
Tell me where the food is. Where's the food? All right, I'm in. Is it
And
pizza tonight?
like it seems silly, but like you guys know as youth pastors, it's not silly. Like when you actually like show a kid that you care about them by creating a physical space for them, it's going to break down those walls that they put up throughout the week that keep them from like wanting to talk and be honest. And so having an environment strategy that is teenager friendly is really going to help you communicate to a teenager as soon as they walk through the door that like you like them and you want to hang out with them.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite things as a youth pastor. I put a lot of time and energy into our weekly environments, trying to create environments that kids just love to be at. And it was so much fun. I mean, we did some crazy stuff. Like we didn't list these things on here, but like
The laser
when,
pointers.
oh my gosh, we would do things like we would give every kid a noisemaker as they walk through the door. Sometimes, obviously not every week, but like for fun surprises, every kid that comes through the door is like, like insanity. It was crazy. And then like one week we played a game with laser pointers and like the low intensity kind, like the ones that are like $1, you buy them in bulk. And
not ones that can actually
literally
cause
but
blindness.
imagine like 100 teenagers with laser pointers just zooming around.
It was quite the
room.
experience.
Crazy stuff, but it creates these moments and these memories and these environments where kids are like, okay, these people, they actually like me, they get me, like they want to have fun with me, they want to teach me about God, and they want to like help me develop as a person and grow spiritually, but they also want to have fun with me. So that's what we try to do with our environment strategy.
And so if you're using a resource from Grow, one of our series, then you'll see that we provide like recommendations, instructions, all of that for all of these things on this list, and probably some more, I forget.
So let's take a look at it on the board. So let's actually pull it up. If we go to the product page, it's going to just take us to the series probably. Yeah. So, but even in the series, do we talk about the environments on here?
Yeah. So if you scroll up to the theme, so every series that we give you has a theme of some kind. Oh, actually, maybe it's not in there. Oh, it's kind of explained.
The topic is
worship. There's also a theme though. So the theme is like
decorating.
Right there, decorating. Natural wonders of the world. So everything that we give you for this series is going to be like centered around this idea of like the creation that God made. And we're talking about worship like through that lens. So like your room design is going to reflect that. The graphics are going to reflect that.
And you can see where I'm going to. So if you go to the series, if you own it, you'll have this little link here that says open in Dropbox. And then you can basically, let me go back to all the folders. So these are all the folders that you'll get for the series. And then just go to the environment folder. You can find the environment guide and it'll show you. So like we're giving you room design ideas. We have games that go along with it. We give you music recommendations and Spotify playlists and stuff. And we have videos and graphics. We even tell you the fonts and the colors that we're using in the graphics. We give you the 1-minute sermons that go along with it. These are videos you can play. So we try to provide you with a bunch of ideas and inspiration on how to actually create an environment that works for your students.
And I see somebody's asking, like, so when we're doing this, are these lessons for middle school and high school both, or how does that work? So yes, I would say the way that we do it is because listen, most youth pastors are overseeing both middle school and high school. And the idea of having to prepare two totally different lesson plans every week is just like a trial I don't think you need to do. I don't think you need to put yourself through that. So what we recommend is to like think about your lesson as something that can transfer to both middle school and high school, but there's maybe like 10% of it that you need to tweak for a high schooler versus a middle schooler. So even if you've got them meeting separately and in like two different rooms, you can still use the same lesson plan if you just tweak a little bit. And so what we do is actually in every single lesson for Grow, we give you a set of middle school hacks and a set of high school hacks. And all these hacks do is they give you a handful of things that you can do to either age the lesson up or age it down to a middle schooler. And then also our discussion guides, we give you a middle school version and a everybody version. So the everybody version has like 10 questions on it. And the middle school version like takes out the more abstract questions that a middle schooler would probably have trouble answering.
Good question. And there's another question too. People are asking about they kind of have like an extra season, and can we customize how many seasons there are on the board? So here's what I would say. All of these are editable. So if you don't want the order, let's say you want to start in January instead of starting in August or whatever you want to do, you can change the name of the 4 ways, like the 4 ways that we break it down, right? So you can change these names. You can also change the names of each month. So they can be whatever you want. They don't even have to be seasons. They don't have to be months. But because the growth strategy is organized this way, we kind of built the board to by default be this way. If you wanted to do something like an entire year plus another season, I would recommend just creating a new board. And so you could do this as like
Part 1, part 2.
extra season or whatever, right? So we'll just do this right here.
Isn't it scary to type live when people can see you typing?
No, it's
See you.
funny when I'm on like a meeting with somebody and they're like writing in the Google Doc. And it's like they have to keep like
Yeah.
going back. I
Yeah.
always do that. It's like
It's
I'm
very
typing, nope,
stressful.
nope, typing, nope, nope. And so you could basically do this, and then you can pull up any of your boards here. So all the boards that you create will be here. And if you want to go back to your other board, you got it right here. If you want to go back to your other board, you got it right here. So you can bounce around. And we haven't added this feature yet, but it is coming very soon. Sharing. You will be able to share your board with people where they can view it. If you don't want them messing with it, you just want them to see it, you can have like a view only version that you can share. And then you can also have a collaboration version where the other people that you're sharing it with will be able to edit the board with you as well. So if you want people on your team to build boards and have them all shared with each other, you can do that across all of your ministries. Like if you have preschool and elementary and middle school and high school, or even just kids and student ministry, you can create separate boards. You can share them with each other if you want to compare them and talk about them together with the other ministry leaders. And then the other thing that we're adding that's not here yet is printing. So you will be able to export to a PDF, you'll be able to print. And so these are all extra features that are not here yet, but are coming in the very near future. They're actively being worked on. So I would expect them probably in the next week or two, hopefully. But yeah, so that's how I would get around it. You can't add a 5th season, but you can have as many boards as you want, and they're super easy to bounce back and forth between. So that would probably be the best way to do that.
Love it.
Cool. All right, let's move on to events.
Yeah.
Our event strategy. Now, here's the deal. Without one, it is so easy to waste time and resources planning events, executing events, because it gets out of hand. Sometimes you overburden families with too many commitments. Maybe you're putting too many
My goodness.
events on the calendar, or maybe your events are competing with other ministries and the events that they're doing, or even the programming that they're doing. Sometimes when you try to do too many events, or you don't have a solidified event strategy and everything is last minute, then you burn yourself out and you burn your team out because
Mhm.
every time you are trying to do an event, it's last minute.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have so many events that they lose their effectiveness. People just get bored of them. You
Mhm.
know, if you offer a different event every month and it's the same thing, and then whatever, you might lose the momentum from your events.
Yeah.
So what we recommend and how we've kind of built the Grow strategy is try to figure out which events are the most important to do and why. Okay, we always like talking about the why. Like, why
Mhm.
are we doing this? Is it just for fun? Because maybe you might have events that are geared towards fun and we want to bring people and introduce them to our ministry. Then maybe you're going to have events that are more spiritually based. Like, this is going to be a retreat where we're actually going to do like a prayer retreat, or we're going to do like a study retreat or something, or maybe we're going to have an all-nighter and we're going to do whatever. So you got to figure out why you're doing the events, when and how often to do your events. We recommend once a quarter. So you'll see when we go to the board,
Plus a mission
one event a
experience
quarter.
or a
Yeah,
summer camp or
but
something
in
over the summer. But for the most
but in
part,
general, once
yeah.
a quarter we think is a good rhythm. How to make each event impactful for kids and teenagers,
Mhm.
and how to plan each event effectively and resourcefully.
Yes.
So that's basically what you want to do when you're talking. Sorry, I keep going forward and back on the slides because I don't know what's coming next. But so let's take a look at the board and see the events on
Last
here.
time you went to the board, it actually did not show up.
What?
Yeah, I know. I was looking at it and I noticed that it was.
Well, it should be showing up now, I think.
Let's find out. I mean, we're on a little delay, so it's gonna be a few seconds.
Yeah,
But
it'll be there. Okay, sorry if I didn't show up last time. But so what you'll see are the green cards, and for us, for me, I don't own any of the events.
that's so
Actually, I have
rude.
the
We
summer
should
camp, I have the
let
mission
you own those,
experience.
Kenny.
Yeah, I didn't put these in my cart yet and check out with them. But these are the events. So we have like an all-nighter, one in the
Mhm.
fall, then we have a winter event, it's a Christmas party. And this is for volume 9, our most recent volume. Then in the spring, we have a weekend retreat event right here. And then in the summer, we have a dodgeball dance
Yeah, we
party,
do.
which sounds fun. And then, of course, a summer camp
Mhm.
and a missions experience. And so it's totally up to you. We're just giving you kind of a framework of what
Mhm.
we found to be helpful in our ministry. And as we talk to different ministry leaders, what kind of rhythms work for them. But we know your situation and your church and your area have different rhythms and contexts. And so
Mhm.
maybe you'll do less, maybe you'll do more, but this is kind of what we recommend as a starting place as far as your events. And of course, you can go and look at the products if you want to just build them out and you want to see more about the products. You can see, what is this Great Escape all-nighter all about, and it'll
Mhm.
tell you some more information, and you can this is probably just like the bumper video or something for it. Let's see what this video is. Or it's nothing. It's just
Looks like nothing.
just a video.
Just a
Guys, if
teaser.
you find anything, just let us know and we'll make sure that we get it fixed. But so that's what it looks like on the actual strategy board. Anything you wanted to say about events before we move on to the
No.
adults in the room?
Let's talk about some grown-ups for a minute.
Let's talk
We've
about
been
the
yapping about the
grown-ups.
teenagers and we love them so much, but we also have to talk about grown-ups. Now, we've kind of mentioned this already, but like when you are thinking about your overall ministry strategy, we have like all these different areas of ministry. And like Kenny previously confessed, he was not good at these two pieces of the strategy. And so the whole idea with this growth strategy of breaking it into like these different areas of ministry is to help you figure out which areas you are really strong in and like really like you feel good and you feel confident, and in which areas you're like, oh, actually I need some help. And so these are two areas where a lot of youth pastors in our experience have needed some help. And so what we've done is we put together this strategy that is kind of cohesive between volunteers and parents. So we're going to talk about them like, at the same time. So let's dive in. We'll talk volunteers first. So you really need a volunteer strategy that is going to help you recruit and onboard the volunteers that you need, because where do you get people from and how do you train them? Then you need to train and equip and care for the volunteers who are already on your team. Because, like we talked about, if you're not doing this, your volunteers are just going to like wander away gradually. And then one day you'll look up and be like, oh, I have all of these middle schoolers and no volunteers. And now the children might riot and take over the church, which is a little terrifying. You need a strategy that's going to help you retain the volunteers that you want to keep And that language is on purpose, my friends, because listen, not everyone should be a youth ministry volunteer. Some people should go to the parking lot ministry, and that is okay. That is their calling. But you need to retain the volunteers who like are amazing youth ministry volunteers, and that is a very special breed. And then you also need a strategy that's going to help you create a culture where volunteers actually want to serve, where they want to show up and are excited to invest. And so that is what you need to be thinking about on the volunteer side. And then on the parent and family side, you really need a strategy that is going to help you build trust and build buy-in with parents and caregivers, that's going to help you train and care for the parents of kids and teenagers, that's going to help you empower parents to disciple their own kids at home. And, you know, we know that not every parent is like interested in doing that, but we can do our part to help those parents who are interested in doing that do that a little bit more confidently. And also to create a culture where families are supported and where they know that they're supported. So, how do you do that? Well, we have put together this strategy. It's kind of like 7 different tactics that you can use throughout the year to invest in both volunteers and parents and families. Think about them like they're not always the exact same thing, but they're the same tactic. So, for example, an event, you would maybe just do, we recommend one event for your volunteers every year. And that's like a big vision casting event at the beginning of the year. But if you're thinking about families, you might do a few events throughout the year. Like you might offer like a ministry open house, you might offer a parent and small group leader breakfast, just things to like get families a bit more involved in your ministry. You've got meetings. Those are like the informational or training meetings. For a volunteer, that's going to be more like hands-on training on a certain topic that you really want to help them with. Whereas with parents, it might be more informational, like before a mission trip or something like that. Discussion groups, that's when picture like a focus group where you've got a handful, maybe like up to 10 volunteers or parents in the room, and you're kind of like crowdsourcing ideas, having conversations, learning from them, and then helping them troubleshoot any problems that they have. Then you've got conversations. You do need to have one-on-one conversations throughout the year. First with your volunteers, just to like check in on them, be building relationships, troubleshoot stuff, like just lead them as the ministry leader. And for families, there's all sorts of reasons why you might need a one-on-one with a family. Maybe a family is in crisis. Maybe their teenager has like some behavioral issues that you have to address. Maybe a parent is mad at you. Kenny, you've ever had a parent mad at you? Never.
Parents love
It's
me.
never
Parents
happened.
love me,
Never
unless I
happened.
make worldly t-shirts.
Yeah, you make worldly t-shirts. And one time you played an Imagine Dragons song at church and they did not like that. So that's what conversations are all about. Communication. You need an effective communication strategy so that your volunteers and parents both know what is going on at all times. And hopefully, I mean, we can't promise that they will read all your emails and won't like ask you for the millionth time when the registration deadline is, but there are things you can do to help make that happen a little bit less. So that's like your emails, your social media. If you are familiar with Grow Hubs, that is a software tool that we provide. It's kind of like sort of like Slack, but for your ministry. And you can set up a different hub for every group of people that you want to talk to, like parents, volunteers, student leaders, etc. And all of these things are parts of your communication strategy. Then you got to think about tools. What are those tangible tools that you are giving to volunteers or parents to make their jobs easier? So for a volunteer, maybe it's like a tip video that you send them of like, it's like a 2-minute training on something really practical. Or families, maybe it's like a devotional that they can do at home with their kid throughout the week. And then the last one is celebration. How are you like honoring these adults on a regular ongoing basis? Like thanking them if they're volunteers for the work that they do. For parents, just letting them know that they're like seen and loved and cared for, because parenting a teenager is really hard. So if you can use all 7 of these tactics throughout the year, you're going to have a really, really well-rounded and holistic approach to investing in your volunteers and also supporting the parents of the kids in your ministry.
All right. So that sounds like a lot. And it is a lot, right? Like we have just showed you all of these things that you can be doing for parents and volunteers. But when you put it on a calendar and you actually look at how much it isn't as overwhelming as it looks.
Especially when you plan it at the beginning of the year.
We're talking about meetings maybe every other month. That's what we recommend for like volunteer meetings. We're talking about one kickoff event in August. you can do one-on-one conversations at your own rhythm. I like to do them a couple times a month. And what I mean by a one-on-one conversation is I would literally just reach out to one of the volunteers on our team and say, hey, you want to grab coffee this week? Want to grab lunch? And you can just hang out with them for an afternoon or for over like some coffee. And like a celebration, like a volunteer celebration, one time a month, you can celebrate your volunteers in a fun way. And I just saw somebody in the comments, they were talking about emails. And how often do you guys email? Is it like, they started doing weekly parent emails, but then it felt like maybe it was too much, which we kind of agree. We think maybe volunteer emails once a week is good because you have to prepare them for what's happening that week in your service.
They need their small group questions. They need all their stuff. They
But for parents, it probably makes more sense to do once a month. Here's the series overview. Here's what we're talking about for the next 4 weeks, and kind of give them like a heads up of what's happening in your ministry that month. And that's what we recommend. So you can see there's a lot of cards for volunteers and parents on this board, but you don't have to do them all every single month. And it's up to you to kind of pick and choose what you want to do. Maybe you only want to do celebrations a few times a year. That's amazing. Go ahead and do it. Maybe you only want to do meetings, once a month or, twice a year, like have big meetings with everybody. And then on the other weeks, you can just do like quick weekly huddles or whatever. Whatever works for your context is totally customizable. You can take these things, you can drag them around, drop them in different places. You can delete the cards right off the board if you don't want them. And we are going to create mass deletion because right now, if you wanted to delete stuff, you'd have to go like one by one and delete each individual card,
Yeah, it's annoying.
which is annoying.
We'll make it less annoying.
We will make it less annoying so you can delete like a million things at once. But basically, you can build out your strategy for volunteers and families however you like. And if you want to grab all of the resources, if you haven't checked out Grow's volunteer and family resources yet, we've bundled everything together for you. So tip videos, discussion groups, volunteer and parent celebrations, meetings, volunteer tools, which are like the handbook, business cards, goals, surveys, and other things, communication, like pre-written emails, pre-done social media stuff, the volunteer kickoff event, volunteer conversations. What else is down here? That's it. And so it's all packed into this one volunteer bundle. So if you want to just grab all of it, it's all right here for you. And yeah, you can see all the products that are included in this bundle. And so anyway, as you're building out your board, and we'll navigate back to the planning view here. As you're building out your board, all of the resources are available. They're already done for you. And like, here's the thing, you can totally do this on your own and, write your own meetings and do your own celebrations. Or if you want to save some time, we've done it all for you. So that's what it looks like on the board. All right, now we're over an hour. So we're going to wrap this up. We're going to just go through the rest of our little slides here and just give you some goodies because there are some things that we want to do. So we talked about our planning strategy and how important it is. And Keegan was talking about in the comments how your pastor is going to think you're organized and be impressed with you, and your volunteers and parents too. Like anyone that comes into your office and sees a big board, all color
wow, they have a plan.
This person knows what they're doing. If you want to look like you know what you're doing, go do it.
Make a little
and
board.
We're going to send an email to everybody who registered with some links to videos. You can watch our full annual planning video as we walk through the entire board and everything that's inside of Grow. And then we wanted to tell you before you leave today, well, we'll just mention this. We think every single youth pastor out there is a superstar. You guys are amazing. You guys are out here, Mario. You're jumping on Goombas. You're saving princesses. You're doing what you need to do. Grow is just this little power up for you. And when you're playing the game, it is more fun to have a power up. That's what we hope Grow does for you. We hope it makes your ministry experience more fun.
Don't set anything on fire though.
Yeah, well, we want to feel like you're like, boo, boo, boo. Like you're able to shoot these little fireballs out of your hands with the power of Grow behind you, with all of these like pre-done resources.
We just are here to try to make you a little extra fancy.
But hey, you could basically create your own power-ups if you want to as well. But Grow is a pre-done power-up just for you. And we wanted to tell you before we wrap up today, and we'll answer any questions. So if anybody has questions, feel free to chat them in. We will hang out and answer questions if people have them. But we wanted to tell you that for the next week, if you buy any credit subscription or if you buy any bundle, just like that volunteer bundle I showed you a second ago, we are going to throw in a couple bonuses for you. We're going to give you both of
Yay.
the GrowCon events. So those are training videos with actual like experiments you can run in your
It's like a
ministry.
whole conference.
Yeah, basically like a youth ministry conference and a kids ministry conference. We're going to give you both of these, and we're going to give you the volunteer tip videos for free. So if you buy any subscription or any bundle, and I'm going to show you what those are right now, you get those resources for free as a bonus just for the next week. So if you go to Grow, the website, you will see this little pricing tag up here, and these are all the subscriptions available. Even a monthly subscription, if you just want to do 1 credit a month, we'll throw in those free bonuses for you, and that will allow you to basically add new resources every single month to your library. Or you can do 3 a month, 13 credits a year. We made it that amount because that's what you would need for 52 weeks of teaching. So we give you 13 credits for a whole year of teaching. You can do 21 credits a year, which allows you to do like a full year of teaching. Plus you can add in things like discipleship and events and whatever family and volunteer resources you want. Or maybe you want to jump all in and do like everything. You could do the 50 credits a year. That will allow you to do the entire year of teaching, all of the family and volunteer stuff. Maybe you have multiple age groups and you're working with like elementary kids or maybe a kids ministry and a youth ministry. So you might want to do the 50 credits a year and share them amongst all the ministries. And so if you subscribe to anything or if you buy any of the bundles, and the bundles look like these. So this is like our teaching bundles. And then if you go to like events, for instance, you'll see our events bundles. They should be there somewhere, I think. They're on there somewhere. Maybe
There they
not.
are. Yeah, they're right there. The little
Oh, yeah,
blob.
yeah.
You missed
Event
the
bundles.
blob.
Yep. So this is our student event bundle. If you go to volunteers, you'll see the volunteers bundle. And so just go there. And if you buy any of these bundles,
The bundles are
you
for if you
will-
don't want to buy, like go through and click a million items.
Yeah,
These will just
exactly.
group them all together for you.
All right, that is the deal, guys. So I hope this was helpful. We have heard a lot of people talking about it would be so helpful to have like a digital planning board to plan out their entire year. So we hope that you guys like this and use it. And please share your feedback. Tell us your ideas. Tell us how you want us to improve it.
Boss us around. We love being boss.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's all we have for you today. Again, thank you so much. If you jump in, you will get these bonuses for free if you buy any subscription or bundle, and play around with the planning view and let us know what you think.
Yes,
All right.
please.
Well, thanks a lot again for everybody here hanging out with us today. You guys are amazing. You guys, really, we have so much fun creating stuff, not only for you, but with you.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, when we create Grow, it's a team effort with hundreds of different church leaders from all over the world. And so if you want to be part of that, tell the people that go to growcurriculum.org, tell our chat team, and we will get you the form to fill out to apply to be a part of the process. And we love even having youth ministry leaders review what we create. So every year as we're creating new series and new resources, we love just having people to review it. So if you want to do that, you can do that as well. And I want to give a shout out to the Grow Insiders Club. If you are a Grow user, make sure you check out the Grow Insiders Club. You can also ask our chat about that, like on the Grow website. And it's a little Discord that we have for Grow users, and they get early access to things. Like they've been seeing the planning view for months, basically at this point, as we were developing it, and they were giving us feedback. And as we create resources, they get early looks and are able to provide feedback and ideas for what we're creating. And they can even share their own ideas. And sometimes we take them and we create them for them. So the Grow Insiders Club is amazing. You can also find that at growcurriculum.org if you scroll down a little bit. But yeah, guys, you're amazing. And we, let me just show you. Let me just make sure what I'm saying is true.
Okay, great.
So you
Yeah,
scroll
don't
down
lie.
here. Yeah. Yeah, become a Grow Insider today. So you can join right here, the Grow Insiders Club. And we're always doing some new stuff. But anyway, we'll let you go. We're about to gear up for a winter storm here in Charlotte. So it's going to supposedly be iced out for the next 3 days.
Exciting.
I don't know what's going to happen,
We'll
but
just
hey,
hunker down and work on the planning view bugs.
yeah, exactly. Enjoy your weekend. play around with the planning board, with the planning view. Let us know what you think, and we will